Joe Redshaw retired.
Wait, who was Joe Redshaw to
Joe
you,
Redshaw
Dad?
is the president of my company, one of my best friends. And he retired. He started a little business in his cellar called the North Main Fly Fishing Company, making flies for people who wanted to fly fish in salt water. At the time he was making them, like he was in Yarmouth, Maine, and what's the name of the company?
LL
The
Bean.
LL Bean Company was right down the street from him. And we were a customer of Burgess, and also they were handling some of Joe's flies. And I went with them to try and get a little more business for him. And while we were there, the president, who had a home on Algonquin, came in with one of his family.
George Bush, you're talking about.
George Bush came in with one of his family, and he was complaining that he wasn't catching any fish. And I introduced him to Joe Redshaw. And I said, here's the best fly fisherman. You fly fisherman, aren't you? He said, oh yeah, we like fly fishing. Here's the best guy there is. And so they got talking, and I said to Joe, come on. We went over to the corner of the store, put together 12 flies for saltwater fly fishing, brought him over and gave him as a gift to the president. They thanked us and wanted to pay, and we wouldn't take it. And I don't think it was more than a couple of weeks later, maybe only a week. Both Joe and I got in the mail pictures of the president with a striper and a saltwater fly still in the striper's mouth. And he was thanking us for helping him catch the striper.
Yeah.
It just so happened that Joe's heart attack came just about that time, and he passed away.
Yeah.
And he had made me a big box of saltwater flies to take to Central America
Uh-huh.
to fish for sailfish and maybe marlin on a fly. The flies were beautiful flies. I had a big box of them, and I kind of had friends coming down to fish with me on that trip. I think Bobby was one of them there too.
Yeah.
And we kind of named the trip the Joe Redshaw Memorial Fishing Trip.
Yeah.
Sure enough, right in the middle of this trip, I hear the captain shout down, "What the hell is that, a ghost?" And we look down in the water, and there's a white fish swimming by the boat. And I cast one of Joe's flies out, and damned if he didn't grab it. I set the hook, and we fought the fish and fought the fish. And it was just exciting as hell. Here was an albino sailfish, and the captain hollering, "That's the second one ever caught in the world. And you've got this on a fishing trip." And sure enough, there was a reporter there doing movies of it. Well, we finished the trip, and we were all so excited at the end of it. And I got down to the end of the boat with a drink, and one of the mates was Jesus. And I said, "Jesus, why were you hollering fantastic, fantastic, all through that catching that fish?" And he said, "Senor, no, not fantastic, fantasma." In Spanish, fantasma means that this is the phantom fish. It's the return of somebody recently lost at sea.
Oh, jeepers.
And I said, oh, Joe Redshaw, you came back to make sure your flies were working. And so when this story was written up about the second albino, it was in a number of saltwater magazines.
Yeah.
But it was also in Joe Redshaw's hometown sports page.
In
He
Maine.
sent it with a whole story about
Yeah.
Phantasma and Fantastic.
Yeah. Joe was quite a guy. Joe was quite a guy.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah.
One of my closest friends of my lifetime.
Yeah. How old are you now, Dad?
90s. I'm in my 98th year.
Right, as Bobby would say. Right. You just had a birthday last week.
Yep.
And here we are, Thanksgiving Day. Wow. Well, we had a nice Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah.
Here's to Joe.
It's to Joe Redshaw. To Joe Redshaw. Yeah. All right. Thank you for telling that story, Pops.